daughter. I mean, just had a tough life. Don't you think? Tough life, divorced. And her
And
son, I
she's
mean,
married to a wealthy guy and is very happy. So that part's not so tough.
okay, well, then things got better. But
Then
Josh,
things got better. And she also doesn't want to be on the show. She's in that category of people that like left the show on their own. She got married and wanted nothing to do with this craziness. But go on.
well, anyway, her son, Josh, passed away, drug
Mhm,
overdose.
mhm.
Very sad. Very sad. That story is so heartbreaking. May he rest in peace. And sounds like he's finally at peace because the poor guy had such a drug battle for so long. And I have to imagine as a mother, and I know people listening have siblings or have parents that are addicts that just can never get so it's the worst. I always think it's the lowest depth of misery to be an addict. It's so hard. It's hard for everybody around you. He has a daughter. It's just, it breaks everybody. And sometimes people can't, they just can't do it. And he died in a hotel room by himself, surrounded by drugs. It's 35.
And he
Been in and out
just
of
got
jail.
out of right. He just got out of jail. So that's sad.
I know.
That is sad.
Um,
Like you gotta. I mean, look, there's even Nene talked about this in her one of her interviews, about her son, and I'm not comparing them, but yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing you can do when someone is an addict. It's like the same thing with AA. Like you can lead someone there, drive them, have an intervention. Like someone has to want it. They have to want it. You can't control people's actions. So you battle the demon of addiction, and it's a real thing, and yeah, my heart aches for her. And I mean, his sister who was on the show, Ashley, posted a tribute and
I know, break your heart, break your heart. So
break your heart.
sending them as positive vibes as we can. But there was another piece of gossip I wanted your opinion.
Jizzy Jizz and Robin, that video at the
Oh,
Minaj concert,
yeah, they weren't allowed to like get too close
trying
to
to
them.
sneak down to the front row and say, "Hey, girl,
I
you
didn't think
hosted
they
our
could do.
reunion." Denied, Jizzy Jizz and Robin. Pay for the ticket for the front row, girl. Shit's not cheap, I have to tell you. J-Lo just revamped her tour to call it a greatest hits, even though we canceled eight dates. She says it's going to be a greatest hits tour.
Not
I
gonna lie.
thought of it, but I've already gone, and I didn't like her meet and greet price, so I'm gonna pass on that one.
She's a legend. She was incredible at the Super Bowl, but I don't think that tour is going to do well. I don't, to be quite honest, I don't know. I haven't researched it, but I don't think Justin Timberlake's tour is doing very well either.
I have tickets to 2 dates. I know you asked me if I want to go with you here. Maybe I'll sell one of my dates in back
Yeah,
east.
please. We got to buy. I mean, actually, there's no rush, I don't think, but we do need to. We should buy tickets and go see him SoFi Stadium here in May 18th.
Is it SoFi? I think it's Kia at Englewood.
Okay, that's
I
not
could be
great.
wrong.
That's not great. We're only doing the
See,
forum. Okay, that's. I thought it was SoFi. Are you kidding? Eesh.
I could be wrong. I got to check my sources, call my
Now look,
team.
look, I can only sell out your local comedy store. So I mean, like, I can't be like, I shouldn't be like, oh wow, only the
These,
Kia.
let me tell you something. These live tours are hard. You and I have talked about this. Everybody's on a live tour. Sarah and I get questions, not questions. We get approached to do a live tour quite almost every day. I'm not sure how
You're
I feel
right.
about it. I'm
I
not
think
sure
he's at
how
the
I feel
Kia
about it. See,
Forum.
he's at the Kia. I'm not sure how I feel about a live tour. Love everyone. If you see me out and you listen to this podcast, come up. By the way,
All right, I'm
I'm
gonna.
available to be booked for podcast coaching if you're just starting out a podcast, or you're an established podcast that's making no money after a year. Come on, let's get in shape. I'm available, and I'm also available for life coaching. People do book me, as someone said in my DMs the other day. Do people really book you? They do book me. It's how I spend my weekends. I have no life. So book me, but my point is you can book me there, or we're available for dinners, me and Sarah together, me and Sarah alone. Someone asked if that was serious and they can fly us to New Orleans. I said, yeah, we're available for dinners. We can thank Jeff Lewis for that. A live
Absolutely.
tour is I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, to be determined. I
TBD.
so wait a sec. I wanted to ask you about You got a listener, right, that wrote to you about Sonja Morgan's
Oh,
live
I knew you were going to bring this up.
live shows, speaking of live shows. And it wasn't good. And then there's a video circulating where Sonyorita gets on a chair, falls off the chair, trying to do a split. This now, interestingly enough, the comments under that were like, "God, I love my girl Sonja. I love her." I mean, did you think? But the fan that wrote to you kind of had a scathing review about Sonja. We paid this money to go see her. She was sloppy ass drunk.
Let me read it, okay?
Read it. This is not, I mean, I don't know. Or do people love this? Is this our future? Should we embrace the booze?
First of all,
Okay, go.
shame on you because you are opening old wounds with me. Now, I have had Sonja's intern on, love Miss Meg, and I was invited 2 years, 3 years ago, whatever the fuck it was, to Sonja's friends and family unveiling of Sonja in the City. I was hoping you would not bring this up. I then gave a review that was as kind as I could be based on the fact that I was invited as friends and family. But again, Sarah says you're either of the people or of the industry. This is why you listen to us. You want to know my problem with most Bravo podcasts? Really, I can sum it up. They want to be friends with the people. They want to be famous. We don't, I mean, I wouldn't mind more friends in my life. I wouldn't mind being famous. But that is not my job. My job is to be honest. And that is why you tune into this podcast. So I was as nice as I could be with my review of Sonja in the City, but I had to be honest. I toned it down drastically to protect Miss Morgan. Then I was blocked by the bitch. Yes, I've seen her. I saw her at Crappy Lake for Luann. I run into Sonja. We just look away and part ways. So sorry, Sonja, that you blocked me. Well, maybe you should have put on a different show. It wasn't good. You've opened a wound, Sarah, that Miss Morgan has blocked me. Now, minding my own business, a listener who doesn't even know that I did this show because it was years ago, slipped into my DMs. Didn't ask for this. This just appeared in my DMs. And they apparently didn't listen that I already did a show. They said, David, and we were not going to mention this person's name to protect them. Well, I mean, it said, David, I am a huge fan and I've listened to you since the beginning of your podcast. I have to, this just came the other day. I have to tell you that I have never been more disappointed in a housewife in my life. Tonight, me, my mom, and my aunt went to see Sonja in Your City. We've been looking forward to it for months as we all love Sonja. It was horrible, all capitals. The show itself wasn't that great. She progressively got drunker and drunker during the Q&A. She didn't even answer the questions, just rambled about another topic. What really pissed us off, though, was the meet and greet. We waited in line for over an hour. I know how you feel about that, Sarah. We waited in line for over an hour before she was even ready. We were towards the back of the line, and after waiting for hold on, sorry, I had to go to the next slide. We were towards the back of the line, and after waiting over 2 hours, we finally saw her, and she was beyond rude. Didn't even say hi to us, and we tried to talk to her. Then when my aunt was in the middle of talking to her, she cut her off and shooed us away and said that she had a line after we've been waiting and standing in line for over 2 hours. Everyone in line for the meet and greet was pissed off. It was a horrible experience. Those tickets for the meet and greet cost $100, which is a lot of money to a lot of people. The three of us are disappointed. On top of that, on top of that, the guy taking photos took awful photos. So we didn't even get a decent photo out over it. I just wanted to message you and vent and get the word out that Sonja's show is a rip. I love you and your podcast, especially you and Sarah. Shout out for Sarah Fraser. Now Sarah's awake and listening. I responded to this person and said, here's a link to my review. Word for word, your review is what I said. And I said it in a much nicer way. And then she blocked me and she's very upset with me and she's hurt. And look, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or mean. That was my experience. That's my honest opinion. Go get your bag, Sonja. I experienced all of this. felt she was inebriated during the show and got drunker and drunker. This video did just resurface or surface where she fell off the chair after doing the split. And maybe that's what you want. And maybe that sounds like a fun night out. But when you're there, I mean, to me, it was uncomfortable. I've said this. I feel Sonja is like what some people say about Shannon, although I don't think Shannon's as bad. It's like this is the reality reckoning. Everyone's like, oh God, we don't want to hear about this. But like when Sonja was still on the show and you hear rumors that like they are thrilled with you. I've been to things, the filmings for New York. Go have another drink. Like they love a drunk Sonja. Like that's where it's like, I don't think it's not okay. I'm convinced Sonja wasn't coming back for season 14 if we didn't recast Roni. I was saying the whole time I thought Ramona and Luann were coming back. That was it. No Ebony, even though I love her, no Leah, and no Sonja. That's just my experience with Sonja. I don't wish her any harm. I just think she's drinking to hide the pain of life, which I get it, but I think she has a problem.
I mean, it seems like mixed reviews. I know that fan wasn't a fan, but that video, the drunk video, people were like, "Oh my God,
People
I just
loved
love
it.
you." Like people seem to, I feel like it's very split. Like people love that she's just sloppy and messy, and maybe that's just her. And I think obviously Lou has been very open that she's on the wagon, off the wagon. I mean, I don't know. People seem to like it. I guess to me, I'm with you. I don't know, but this is probably why I'm not famous. To me, I feel like that is just such the lowest. Again, like I feel like that's sad. Like I don't really want to be 60 years old, drunk on a stool, falling off.
I
I
mean,
mean, to
I
me,
don't want
people are
to.
laughing at you, even if people are like, "Oh, girl, I love you." Like, is that? I mean, you have a daughter. I don't know, but see, I think this is the problem. I'm becoming too like. I think I'm becoming my parents. I think
No, I'm like, I'm there in a way. Are we
they're doing that
conservative?
conversion.
Are we conservative? I'm not judging.
Yes.
When people like, right, like people are reaching out to me over the summer, some of these housewives, like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't afford to stay in the Hamptons. Can I stay at your house with you? And like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, when people aspire to be this, I respect all these wonderful people listening that are in real jobs and can pay for their dinner. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, people might love the
That's the
Sonya
thing.
like that, and more power to you. If you guys are enjoying Sonya in the City, I am not taking that away from her. She fell off the chair recently. We saw the video, and I just thought, I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. But this DM was my experience too, and it just wasn't for me. That's all.
Anyway,
I mean,
well,
Luann, you can't even compare it, you
oh, her show.
mentioned
Yeah, I
like
know.
Luann is like it's a real show. She's on a stage, there are songs. I mean, I know Sonja's shtick is a little different. It's cab burlesque, but I don't know. And like, I'm not right. Like, I feel bad for her. So like, I feel bad. Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to be a troll, but that's my honest opinion of the show.